Hello, welcome in, welcome in. We are talking your morning routine, your spiritual morning routine. Do you have one? Why should you have one? And I'm sharing mine. I'm Tammy Mashaverty, best-selling author of the book The Universe is Talking to You, and I help people tap into the Divine Higher Helpline available to us all. And today, I wanted to come on here. I always like to come on here and share things that have sort of come up for me during that week, come up with a client, different things like that. And so today, I actually was interviewed yesterday. I'm going to be sharing that interview on Facebook, I believe. If you follow me on Facebook, I know I'm live on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram at the same time. So if you follow me on Facebook, I'll be sharing an interview. I was interviewed yesterday, and one of the things we were talking about that came up was sort of self-care and having, the importance of having some type of a morning routine. When I say morning routine, I'm talking about having some type of routine or some process that you do in the morning that connects you to a higher power, that connects you to spirit, that aligns you and sets you up for the day, whether that be to calm your stress, calm your overwhelm, call in your higher help, which is of course part of my morning routine. But there has to be something, because if we just get up and fly out of bed and rush around and our mind's going a million miles a minute, or we're trying to put fires out or solve problems or whatever the heck is going on, and we're not just taking even a couple of minutes to center, to call in that help, to do something that will, align you and set you up for the day, you're totally missing out on an opportunity that won't take a lot of time, but will make a difference in the rest of your day, right? So I wanted to come on here and share mine. Now, my morning routine has evolved over the years. It changes. It's an ever flowing thing. What is consistent about it is me taking the time to align myself and to center myself and to connect and strengthen that connection with spirit, with a higher power, with the universe. What I'm currently doing is probably more than most people will want to do, or more than most people might have time to do, depending on where you are in your life. And if you're, do you work from home? Are you a stay-at-home mom? Are you retired? Do you have more time in the morning? Are you a morning person? Do you like to get up? So I happen to work for myself and work from home, so I can have a little bit of a longer morning routine. But you can literally connect to spirit and have a morning routine that's 5 minutes. That's 3 minutes, right? I just want you to start with something if you don't have something. So I'm going to share mine, but I'm also going to share ways for you to adapt things and, create something that can work for you no matter how much time you might have. Make sense? Okay. So here's what I do. I start off with some brain retraining. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I have been diagnosed years ago, probably 8 years now, with something called a mast cell activation disorder. Basically, it means that my body is hyper aware and has sort of an allergic reaction to things, whether it be a smell, whether it be a food. Stress will cause my body to have an allergic reaction. My mast cells that were throughout my body are just hyperactive. And so apparently this is something that a lot of people don't even realize they have, that they just don't understand why they have these hyper allergies. And I was lucky enough to figure it out and find a doctor that, diagnosed me. So, it's my immune system and all of that. And so over a year ago, I found a program through a friend who, by the way, synchronistically, I had heard of this program before, but just never took it. And a friend told me about it, and it's called the Gupta program. If you were part of the summit from this past January through April, I actually had the founder of this program on there. And he offered the program through there for a discount. but it's called the Gupta program, Gupta. And it's for anybody that has like autoimmune, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, what I have, mast cell disorders, anxiety, panic disorder. It's just like a multitude of things. I'm not an affiliate or anymore, but you can go and find it. So anyway, part of this is in order to heal, it's like a brain retraining program, because the brain is connected to the gut, is connected to the immune system, it's connected to the nervous system. And so it starts by retraining the brain in order to allow the body to get into a healing mode, like to interrupt that stress response, right? And so I took this program over a year ago, and basically I'm still doing these rounds of retraining in the morning. So it takes me, I would say, 7 to 10 minutes in my morning to do 5 of these rounds of retraining. That's the first thing that I do. Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw Hazel says she has a histamine intolerance. Exactly. The mast cell disorder that I have contributes to this histamine intolerance. So I do these 5 rounds in the morning. So I do that every morning. I notice a difference, by the way, and I've been adding new foods in and knock on wood, have been doing well with it. So I notice a difference just in how I feel throughout the day. I notice a difference in how I react to things, my thought processes, just by doing this brain retraining. And I'm doing it so that I can heal and add new foods in, right? But I think it's helping me on so many other areas. So that's the first thing I do, 7 to 10 minutes in the morning. I then sit down and I do sort of a meditation period. So what I do, and this has been for the past year as well, I have a breathing exercise routine that I do. It takes about 20 minutes. It's 3 different types of breathing. And again, please don't think I'm telling you to have a routine like mine. I'm just sharing mine because I feel like maybe something that I say will spark something that might be interesting to you. And that's really what I'm always here for, is to help. So I do about a 20-minute breathing routine. The breathing routine is called Sky Breath Meditation. It's, again, something that I learned through, it's called Art of Living, that teaches it. And I have an app that I subscribe to once I learned how to do it. It's like, I forget how many dollars. You have to take the class in order to be able to subscribe to the app and all of that. But it's a breathing routine, and there's 3 different types of breathing that are into this whole 20-minute session. It's also known as the Sudarshan Kriya practice. So I do that every morning. I have noticed it has helped tremendously with my migraines and preventing me from getting them. So that is something that I do. If I have time, if I'm not rushing, so I'd say like probably 75% of the time, I will sit and do an additional 10 to 20 minutes of just regular meditation after that. Sometimes I'll listen to a guided meditation. I'll use a mantra. I use an app called Balance, Balance, Balance app. I believe it is actually still free for the first year. I've had it for a while, so I'm paying for it now. But it's called Balance, and so it's an excellent app. A friend told me about it. Again, not an affiliate, just sharing. I think I've shared this on my weekly spirit boosts before. And so I use that app sometimes for a guided meditation. So I'll do that an additional 10 to 20 minutes. So at this point, I'm at 20, 40, about 50 minutes, 50, depending on what I'm doing. I then will do 7 to 10 minutes of an exercise that I learned from Dee Wallace. And I believe it's called her I Am Breathing exercise. And I believe she talks about it in her book, Born, Born, where you can learn how to do that. But it's basically to align me with the things that I'm trying to create in my life. It sort of lets the universe know, like, here's what I'm doing. It lines me up. It makes me feel good. It boosts my mood, etc. So I do that for, I guess, 7 to 10 minutes, something around that. Sometimes I stop there. Actually, no, that's not true, because I always say my prayer. So after that, I will call in my higher help. So either I do my morning prayer, which is in my book, but you can actually now get it completely for free. So if you don't have a morning routine, I recommend, if you do nothing else, to add this morning prayer into your morning routine. And if you go to tammymasterbirdie.com, and I should have put the link in here, I will after this, you can download my top 3 tools for divine communication. And one of those tools, and this is free, one of those tools is a copy of my morning prayer. And what that morning prayer does is it's calling in your higher helpers for the day. It's asking them to send you the signs and synchronicity to direct you forward. It's asking them to help you to recognize them. You're going to call in Archangel Michael for protection. You're going to call in Archangel Raphael, because I think we're all trying to heal something. And then there's an intention section in it. So I always say my morning prayer, either that morning prayer, or sometimes I create my own customized prayers depending on what I need help with at that time in my life. So I might say a prayer that I've created for myself, calling in different higher helpers, but I always call them in and I always ask for protection during that day. Sometimes I stop there. Sometimes I might take just a couple of minutes to do some automatic writing and connect with my guides and ask a question or see what I most need to know that day. And sometimes I might read a little something, but not always. It takes, I'm going to say, about an hour to, and maybe an hour to 15 minutes or so. My routine is a little more extreme at this point in my life because number one, I have the time, and number two, I am trying to heal. And I notice that breathing and that meditation period prevents my migraines. So that I make sure that I do. I notice that the brain retraining that I'm doing in the morning is helping me in many areas, but especially with the mast cell situation that I'm dealing with. And again, I've been introducing new foods, and I know that it's helping me because I know there's people that have done this program and have completely been able to add in all sorts of foods. So I know that it's going to continue working for me, which is why I'm doing it. Now, having said all that, you're probably like, Tammy, like, what? No, nobody has. I don't even have time for one of the things that you just said. Listen to me. If you have time to do nothing else, I want you to call in your higher help. And I want you to just take 1 to 3 minutes to meditate, to center yourself. 1 to 3 minutes. You can have a 5-minute morning routine. You can take 1 to 3 minutes to center yourself and to repeat a mantra. Release. All is well. I am safe. Love. Whatever mantra you want to use. Just take 1 to 3 minutes to meditate and then take a couple of minutes to say a prayer. And again, I'm making it so easy for you, and I will put the link in here, but it's tammymasterbirdie.com. It's right at the top of the page. You can download my top 3 tools for divine communication, and the morning prayer is one of those tools. So if you don't have one and you're like, I really should be starting my day off with something, you can do that. You can get that for free, and you can start tomorrow with it. At least start your day with that, because again, you will notice a difference. If you do nothing else but call in your higher help in the morning, if you do absolutely nothing else, if you're like, listen, I don't even have the time to do the 1 to 3 minute meditation, which I don't believe you. Everybody has the time to do the 1 to 3 minute meditation. But if you don't, and you don't want to, I want you to at least call in your higher help. Call in your higher help, which will be protecting yourself with Archangel Michael and calling in whoever you want to call in, or just your collective angels, guides, loved ones, right? To be with you that day, to send you the signs and synchronicities, to guide you toward what is in your highest good, to guide you toward what you're trying to manifest, to help you in that meeting that you have, to help you in that parent-teacher conference, to help you at that gathering, to make your day go smoothly and keep you in a positive mindset. Start your day with that. And then you can build. There's so many people that I have worked with, clients, students, friends, who will say to me, I just started small. I just started with, a couple of minutes of meditation in the morning. And then all of a sudden I found I really looked forward to that. And so now I was doing 10 minutes of meditation and a prayer. And then I was like, I'm just going to let myself go. And then all of a sudden I was able to do 20 minutes of meditation and a prayer. And yes, every day is different. And sometimes you're super busy. And sometimes I cut my morning routine shorter and I don't do some of those extra pieces because I don't have time. But I promise you, you will have time to do 1 to 5 minutes, even if you just take 60 seconds to say the prayer. The morning prayer is not that long, and it gives you an intention section. Again, that's at TammyMasterBirdie.com. And in addition to that morning prayer, you also get 2 other tools, which is my Signs and Synchronicity journal, and you also get my Assign a Sign exercise. So it makes a big difference, you guys. I know years ago when I was struggling, and this is like, oh my gosh, this is back to like 2011, 2012, something like that. When I was struggling, so it's over 10 years, I created that morning prayer because I was already meditating, but I needed help. I needed guidance. I was struggling. And so I said to myself, I'm just going to start calling in my help, and I'm going to ask them to not only guide me, but to make me help me recognize the guidance that's coming. And that's how I created that morning prayer, which is now said by so many people. I cannot even tell you. I hear from people all the time how people have laminated it and they say, they say it every morning. And it's awesome. But I created it out of a need for myself. That's how I create so many of my tools. I create them out of a need for myself. And so that's how I created that prayer. And all I was doing was meditation and the prayer back then. And I immediately started to see changes in my life. I immediately felt different during the day when I started it that way. And that's what you will find, and that's what you will see. And so even if you already have, maybe you already meditate, maybe you already have some type of a morning routine, maybe you do gratitude. I know people who write in a gratitude journal every morning. I just want you to add in the 1 to 3 minute meditation if you don't already do it, and the prayer, saying a prayer, calling in your help for that day so that the day can be easier, so that you don't struggle, so that you notice the signs that are directing you toward what it is you're trying to create in your life. Just say that prayer. When you are more aligned and more centered and more connected, your entire day is different. I remember years ago when I was still publishing Elevated Existence magazine, I interviewed a bunch of spiritual teachers specifically asking their morning routine. And I will tell you, they all had one. They were all different. They all had different aspects, but many of them had prayer. Many of them had some type of meditation. I remember I interviewed Arielle Ford back then, and she said she didn't formally meditate anymore, but she did some type of thing in a bath every morning. So the common denominator with those who are on a spiritual path and those who are teaching others about a spiritual path, they all have some type of a morning routine to align them, to bring in their helpers for the day, to get themselves centered and connected with spirit and aligned and ready to tackle living in a human body, right? That's the whole thing. And so I was talking about this yesterday, and I thought, this is what I'm going to share. I'm going to share my crazy morning routine, just in case any of you are interested in all of what I do. I keep meaning to record, like a video of, a day in the life or a morning, my morning routine or something like that. I've had that idea for a while. I haven't done it, but I wanted to at least come on here and share with you the things that I do to prepare myself for the day. And again, there are days where I'm busy. There are days where I don't have time. And so I will shorten it. I will do a piece of it. I was giving you all of the different things that I might add in during that day. And on a good day, I'm able to do all of it. Other days, maybe not, right? But the consistency of at least doing something, even taking a couple of minutes, no matter what, I call in my higher helpers. And you don't even have to, at this point I've sort of memorized, right? What I would say or what I need. And so you can say that prayer while you're doing things, while you're getting ready, while you're making your coffee, while you're getting dressed, while you're brushing your teeth, while you're taking a shower, whatever you're doing in the morning, you can sort of add it on. Or stack it with a habit that you already have. And then it makes it easier for you. I want to just look at some of the comments that I was getting here. Oh, Chrissy says she says the morning prayer every day. And I'm telling you, I would imagine, since you're continuing to say it, that you see a difference with it, right? It makes a difference when you start your day off that way. Let me see. Hi, Mary. Thank you. I love your energy, and I'm going to do a few of these things to help me. Yes. Like I said, the morning prayer is free on my website. I just updated the opt-in there. So I make it super easy for you. It's there. It's free. It's printed out. You can just read it, right? For those who haven't, started it yet, or don't know where to start, or don't know what to do, or who to call on, or things like that. But it makes such a difference. And I cannot tell you, if I skip it, or if I don't, do a good chunk of it, oh my God, it's a difference. I see the difference. I feel the difference. Chrissy just responded, actually. Yes, I definitely see a difference. It helps so much. And you guys, that morning prayer, less than a minute it would take you to do it. And I have it all there for you. And there's just this little intention section. So let's say you want help with something specific. You would say, and also, please help me with blah, 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 that I'm facing today. Let it run smoothly. Let it all be okay. Let it be successful. Let me be successful. Guide me in what to say. Whatever it is you're facing that particular day, you would put in that intention section. Or if you have something that you're working on consistently over and over, like if you're trying to create more money, maybe you would say, and I also call in goddess Lakshmi, who is the Hindu goddess of prosperity, to please guide me toward opportunities to make more money. So maybe you would add that into there. If you're looking for a new relationship, in that intention section, you would call in Archangel Shamuel and say, please guide me toward a new relationship. Help me recognize that person when he or she arrives, that type of a thing. So hold on a second. Lisa, I say the prayer and meditate every day. You do see a difference. You guys, thank you so much for sharing that. So it's not just me like saying, do this and it works. I promise you it works, and it makes a big difference. So, and I'm making it easier for you. You can just go download the prayer for free. But you can say any type of a prayer in the morning. You can do whatever you want. And again, if you just meditate, just start with a couple of minutes before you even step your foot out of the bed. Just say, oh, Tammy told me I got to try it. Let me just try this. Let me just do it for like 60 seconds. Set a timer. I'm just going to do it for 60 seconds. And I just want you to just breathe normally and just repeat a mantra like release, release. All is well. I am safe. I am connected. I am reconnecting. Whatever feels good to you for those 60 to, 60 seconds to 3 minutes, and say that prayer. And then start your day. If you do nothing else, start with that. And then see where it takes you, because that's how I started. I started with a short meditation, and I created a prayer for myself, and that's how I started my morning routine. And now, again, it has evolved where I've added all of these other things in it. And there are days where I don't feel like doing it. There are days where I'm like, oh, I just want to get to work, or I just want to get to this project that I'm working on, or right now I'm writing a new book and I just want to start working on. And I know, Tammy, you see a difference. Do the routine. And mine is longer than I'm even telling you have to do. So there will be days where if you do have a longer routine, you might not feel like doing it. I'm telling you, at least add in that mini meditation and the prayer. And if you do nothing else, you will see a difference. I'm looking, Lori. I have an MP3 of it from one of your previous summits. Oh, are you talking about my prayer? Because there is an MP3 of my prayer, sort of like of me saying it in like a guided meditation way. There is one out there. It's in my membership community, actually, which I'm getting ready to reopen. So that's awesome. I think that's what you're talking about. Chrissy, I've been on a spiritual journey for 2 years. Bought your book for guidance. The morning routine helps me in so many ways. Yes. And it doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take, again, if you followed me for a while or if you're new to me, I'm here to tell you, I want you to do the stuff. So everything that I come up with is easy, is practical, can be fit into your day, but it works. And I do that because I am a type A personality. I am a Virgo. I am running a million miles a minute. I often have to slow myself down, and I want to do it. I wanted to create things that I knew that I would do that would be simple and easy and fit into my day. When I first started my business, I was still working full time in New York City. I was still commuting back and forth. I didn't have time to do a whole bunch of stuff, right? And so this can fit into your day, whether you work from home like I do and you have a little bit more of a leeway with your morning routine, or if you do not have that much time and just have to squeeze something in, you can still do it. These things still work. All of the tools in the book, The Universe is Talking to You, are simple, easy, and they work. There are some things that are like I have some longer, guided meditations. And when you buy the book, you actually get a secret link to download some of those meditations so that you don't have to read them. You can actually listen to them. But everything that I give you, I want you to actually do. So if I'm going to give you something that's going to take you an hour to do, I know that odds are you're probably not going to do it. That's why even the things that I shared with you, they're chunks, right? This takes me 7 to 10 minutes. This takes me 20 minutes. This is 10 to 20 minutes. So they're chunked together. And if I can't fit them all in, I can at least do some of them. That's sort of how I put it all together. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I just wanted to share with you what I do and how you can do some of it yourself, and it will make a difference, especially if you are listening to this and you are in a state where you feel stuck, you are in a state where you feel more stressed and overwhelmed than not, and you have found this video. I want you to at least start your day with a short meditation and some type of a prayer, whether it's my morning prayer that you can get at TammyMastroBirdie.com, or just a prayer where you're just calling in guidance in your own words on your own. I want you to just start with that. You don't have to change anything else in your life, but I promise you, if you just start with those 2 little tools in the morning, you will start seeing a difference. You will see a difference in how you feel. You will see a difference in how your day flows. You will see a difference, especially if you're saying that morning prayer where you're asking for help in not just receiving the signs, but not just asking for the signs, but also help in receiving them. You will see a difference. And that's why they're there for you. And that's why I make them accessible to you. So thank you all for being here with me today. And if you have any questions or any comments or any of that, please leave them. Even if you're watching this, on the replay, I'm happy to respond to them and get back to you guys, and make sure that you like the video and, share it, tag a friend, help me get it out there into the world. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel and you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe so that you can get notified when I go live. But also I upload videos in addition to these lives that help you in different aspects of your life as well. So thank you all for being here. I just want to answer one more question I saw pop up. How can you make a loved one see more clearly or help them? You would call in their higher helpers. So you would just say a prayer on their behalf. I actually just released a video on YouTube on this, so you can find it on how to pray for others in need. You would just call in their higher helpers and say, please help them recognize, please help them see, please shift their mindset. And you don't have to know who. You can just say, I'm calling in XYZs, angels, guides, loved ones who have passed, all those in their soul society, which is what I call the society of helpers that are available, whether we know of them or not, whether we know them from this life or not, that they're sort of assigned and helping us. Just call them in on their behalf and say, please help them see things more clearly. Please help them make this shift. Please send them the signs and help them recognize them and have the strength and courage to act on them. That's how I would do that. I would just say a prayer on their behalf. And that's always something you can do to help someone, especially when you feel helpless. in terms of, watching someone go down a wrong path, or watching someone stress or be in fear or worry, and you love them. You can always call in their higher help team. They don't have to know you did it. They might all of a sudden get an epiphany. You called in their help. They don't have any idea, but they will see the effects of it. So you're welcome, Susan. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here with me again. If you ever have any topics you want me to cover, always feel free to leave them in the comments or message me, and I'm happy to talk on a topic that you have or a question that you have in the future. I thank you all for being here. I wish you an amazing and beautiful weekend coming up. And I will see you all back here next week at Thursday at noon Eastern. Bye, everybody.